Alright, today we're going to be reviewing this Epato, Epato air compressor for if you have a flat tire, if you want to bring up your tires. It's digital, which is really nice. And get it out, you have to undo some of the packaging, but it has a nice little case that comes with it. And you have plenty, it gives you plenty of cord hooking up to your 12-volt cigarette lighter. And then it's got a little instruction book that comes with it. And just gives you a real quick way to get this thing started. Has a flashlight built into it. It's pretty cool. Has a needle valve adapter if you want to like pump up your basketball. And just real simple operating instructions. So we're going to go ahead and use it on this Prius. And to find the proper inflation, it's best if your car has not been driven for at least 3 hours, so the tires are kind of cold. So the front on this one wants 35 psi, 35 pounds, and the back 33. If you've been driving for a while, you could do those same numbers, but just add to them about 3 pounds. So this would be like 38. But better, again, if you can do this when it hasn't been driven for a while. This hasn't been driven for quite a while. So we're going to go 35 in the front, 33 in the back. And this cord, again, is pretty long. Comes with a fuse here, and I believe you can get one of these automobile fuses really cheap. This is in case something goes wrong, it short circuits. It won't damage the pump. And then this little guy is what you hook up to your tire. Pull this away from the pump. It just has a nice little clip to hold it in position. Has a nice flashlight there for safety at night. Has a phone number if you need help. Very good. And here's the digital readout. So we are going to go 35 in the front, 33 in the back. 35, 33. Okay. So in this car, we have a cigarette lighter right here, cigarette lighter port, 12 volt. We're going to hook that up. Confirm that it has power. So this one doesn't have power unless you start the car. So we are going to press in the brake, press the start button. Okay, now we got power. There we go. All right. So it depends on your car. Some of those are hot all the time, and sometimes you have to turn the car on. Turn off the aircon here. Okay. Get some of this cord going. Let's do this one in the front. All right, so we take off the little cap here, and we're gonna put this on. You're gonna lose a little bit of air when you put this on. Push in, twist, righty-tighty. Keep going until it's super tight. And it tells you where it's at currently. So it looks like it's got 30 pounds. Takes about a minute for it to get going. 31. We want to go to 35, so we're going to use this plus button. That's 40. We're going to use the negative one. Going down by half pound. There's 35. Okay, now I'm going to just turn off the power and turn it back on. That'll start the pump. Let me try it again here. Okay, we're getting a overload of some kind here, so we're going to turn off, we're going to kill the power going to the pump and plug it back in. Never seen that before, but I think it'll be fine. We're just going to take away power, bring power back, see if it changed anything. Okay, there we go. We want to tell it we want 35 pounds. Using the minus button. There we go. We're going to take power off, put it back. And it's going to, there's the pump's active now. It's going to just keep going up until it hits 35. It'll stop by itself. You'll see it hit 35. It'll still be pumping for a little bit, maybe 10 seconds. And then it'll stop. It'll say 35, maybe even 35.5. It might give you about half a pound extra. So when you're coming off of this, you lose a little bit of air, you'll still be okay. It's already showing us 35. We'll let it go a little longer. It'll just stop on its own. There we go. All right, now we are going to take this off pretty quick. We're going to hold this and we're going to go lefty-loosey, and it'll lose a little bit of air, but it's okay. Yeah, that's great. All right, we're going to do the back now. In the back, we are going to go to 33 pounds. So many cars, the front and the back inflation will be the same. But on this car, these are a little bit higher in the front. If you don't have your tires inflated properly, if they're underinflated, it's probably the worst scenario. The tire has a lot of contact with the pavement, which is good for safety. And unless it's really way underinflated, you actually might even get better performance. But it overheats and it damages it. It'll damage the tire. The tire won't last near as long. We're going to get that righty-tighty. Keep going until you get rid of that hiss. And this one's showing us about 29 pounds, 30 pounds. This one's pretty close to where it should be, 31. We want to go to 33. Use the minus button. There's 33. So what I'll do is I'll turn it off and turn it back on. Now the pump's going. It's already got 33 pounds. And then let it go for a little bit longer. It'll just stop on its own. There we go. Okay, now we're going to take this off. I would use your good hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold the hose with my left, have more dexterity with my right. And I'm going to come off of there so I lose as minimal amount of air as possible. Very little, maybe 1/4 of a pound. Put my cap back on, and I'll just repeat the same thing on the other side. So it's a really good pump. We've used this for quite a while. The only thing I would caution you about is if your tire was flat or really low and you repaired it and you're pumping up the tire, you don't want this pump to go continually until it's all the way up. You want to go, you know, maybe I would say 4 or 5 minutes max, and then let it rest, let it cool down, and then go another 4 or 5 minutes until you've hit your full pressure. But you got to give it a cool down. I'd try to go like 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 5 minutes on, because you don't want to overheat it. I think though, if it probably got too hot, you would have that fuse pop, and then you could just replace the fuse. All right, so we're going to do the other side and we'll be all done.